Hello, all. Let us talk when to consider a signal as a high frequency. So this is one of the common point where most of the guys keep asking questions. Okay, so we will simplify this by putting it in few ways. So if you are having a signal frequency, someone tells you in your circuit if you have a signal frequency of anything more than 25 megahertz, okay, you need to start worrying about, but still you can treat this as like the low frequency signal things, and you can use. But if any frequency which goes beyond 50 megahertz, okay, then you need to consider this as high frequency and start using the high frequency principles on during the PCB design or in your circuit design. So this is the first base point. Now let us assume someone didn't give you the frequency parameter directly. Someone told you that my rise time of the signals that are going through are something like 1 nanosecond. This is the parameter that is given. So in this case, okay, you have to calculate the frequency which is given by zero point 0.5 by rise time. Okay, so this is the parameter which you need to consider. So rise time is 1 nanosecond. That means your frequency is zero point 0.5 gigahertz, right? Which is 500 megahertz, huge. So you need to consider the high frequency principles for this. Now, this is rise time. So that means one is rise time, okay, and second is directly the frequency. So anyway, we are deriving the frequency from rise time here, but second is frequency. And another point is sometimes people talk about data rate. They give you the data rate parameter. Okay, so if the data rate is provided, again we have to determine the frequency to determine the whether high frequency PCB design guidelines to be applied or not. So the relation between frequency and data rate is 2.5 times DR. Okay, so if the data rate is given as 1 Mbps and it becomes 2.5 megahertz. Okay, so based on the data rate, determine the frequency and then determine the um, application of high frequency principles. So clear, right? Three important parameters which initially determine whether a signal is high frequency or not. There is one more thing which people talk about wavelength, which is not a correct thing. We have to determine the application of high frequency principles or determine whether it is a high frequency design or not based on these parameters.